What's up, everybody? How's it going? I'll just start it out. I didn't even want to do a podcast. I didn't. I was going to leave y'all hanging this week. I didn't even want to do one. I was just going to throw in the towel, go to bed, and just wake up and be like, oh, internet lost, or make up some other excuse. One of the wires, technical difficulties or whatever. No, I got to be honest. Not all the time it's a technical difficulty. Sometimes it's a mental difficulty. Is why I don't do these podcasts all the time, because I want to be on my best mood. I want to be on my A game, because I want this to be humorous, motivational, whatever. And I think I just put too much pressure on myself to make every podcast episode perfect, to make it where like, oh, Dawson's processing through things well. Oh, that's good for him. Like, awesome. Like, and then I want to feed y'all with something that, I learned. But tonight, I don't know. I was wrestling. I couldn't go to bed, and I was just angry and mad. I got some news, and I just couldn't go to sleep, and I don't have anybody to talk to like right now, because it's so super late, just to blow off some steam. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a podcast. Why not? I have the energy to do it. I'm amped up enough, and I'm doing it. I'm here. And man, I am angry. I'm just mad. Life is just making me mad right now. Life just, mad. M-A-D, mad. Did you have a bad week? Did you have a bad month? Has this just been a bad year for you? Has this year just sucked? S-U-C-K, sucked. I forgot the E-D, but you get it. Just put it in there. Sucked. This whole year. Before I go any further, I'll just let it out of what it was. I mean, I've had a feeling that Phoenix was coming to an end, but I didn't know how quick. And I've just had this feeling, at least for the past like week or so. And it was like last week I started having the feeling. And then a few days later in that week, my roommate comes up to me. And right before he leaves, I was about to go to bed. Right before he leaves, he goes, hey, man, I just want to let you know, I just kind of want to live alone now. When can you get out? And I was like, what? He was like, when can you pack the stuff up and leave? I'm like, I don't know. So I have until December to figure out where my next location is. And I don't know where it's going to be. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to begin. Man, and I know it doesn't seem like I'm angry right now, but man, I'm one of those people that can just smile, but my blood is boiling. Like, man, Dawson's in a good mood right now, isn't he? But the next thing you know, I could just pick up a car and flip it. You're like, man, he's more angrier than I thought. I didn't know, and I'm punching holes in the walls. And like, man, he was smiling. Because I can be angry while I'm smiling. Some people are like that. They can hide it very well. Man, he's dealing with things very well, just out of nowhere. Putting someone in a chokehold, putting some kid at a bus stop in a chokehold. I'm like, how you like it now? Huh? Jesus loves you. It's probably not the best way to preach the gospel, but you get what I'm saying. I don't even know where to begin. It has been just a year. Not just a week. I say it's been a week, but it's been a whole year of just. And I don't know where this podcast is going to lead. I'm just trying to talk things out. I'm just trying to process things. And so, welcome. This is just a journey of processing. And who knows? I mean, like, I'm speaking and throwing the stuff out into the internet, into a microphone, and maybe somebody else could relate to it. Maybe something, somebody can get something out of it. Because at least through what I'm going through, I at least would like to be like, you know what? Someone's at least getting something out of it. somebody's faith is getting stronger out of it, or somebody is like, you know what, at least not all Christians are like putting on that face that everything's perfect, because it's not. It's very hard to be a Christian. Fun fact. I know a lot of people think that Christians are perfectionists. They think their life is, it's all peachy bean. No, it's not. And if it is in your life and you're a Christian, in your life it's just, oh man, my life has just always been great since no, you got to check yourself. It's hard. It's a battle. It's a roller coaster, man. I mean, have you read the Bible? Have you read about David? Have you read about Elijah? Or any of them? Any of the prophets? Any of the people of the Bible? Dude, they went through some stuff. And I mean, that news just is like the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And I can just break a nice solid stick. Nothing crazy, not too thick of a stick, because I mean, like, look at me. I'm not built that big, but I can, if you can give me a good stick right now, like a good like dog throwing fetching stick, a good fetching stick, yeah, I can break that over my knee right now. I could break a couple of those. And then I would start a fire with it to keep warm. Oh man, dude. Why? Why me, God? You mean, have you ever just thought about that too? Just why me? Why me? I think about that all the time. That's what I've been rolling over my mind just constantly, just why me? And then I know the reply would be like, why not you, Dawson? Look at your hat, read your hat. It says God's soldier. I wrote that down. We were in craft the other day. It was I work at this, kids summer Bible camp thing, which is now ended. But on one of our last craft days, I just took this hat that was thrown to me and I wrote God's soldier on top of it, wearing it proudly. Because as God's soldier, you're a soldier. You're going into war. You're going into battle. You don't know what's going to happen. And this is a reminder, not just for me, but maybe for other people out there, that you are a soldier. There is some spiritual warfare going on out there. Okay? There's something going on out there that we do not know about. That I do not know about. Okay? And it might just come at you out of nowhere and you just have to buckle up. All right? Because all I'm preparing for is God's soldiers. I want to get that purple heart in heaven. I want to walk across that stage and I get that purple heart of heaven. God's like, good job, my good and faithful servant. Get that soldier badge and boom, across stage. That's all I want. But sometimes I can get caught up in these worldly things that I can't control. I get caught up in these stupid, worldly kind of aspects like comedy. I have this desire in my heart. I love doing it. Don't get me wrong. I love doing stand-up. And I feel like that God has put this on my heart to be able to do. But guess what? If he doesn't want me doing it, take it away, bro. Take it away. I don't want it. Tell me to go do something else. I grew up in a blunt household. I can deal with it. My mom didn't tell me what I liked to hear all the time. She told me what I needed to hear. I might be too young to, be a little too on that, realistic side, being like, But I grew up quick. So I guess that's why I just, I don't know. I could take it. Lord, just sit me down and tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. Because I understand you have to have a good heart posture to listen and stuff. But man, I don't want to keep going down a path that I don't need to be going down. And I don't feel conviction. I don't feel like, I don't need to keep going down the comedy route and doing stand-up. But I don't know. I guess it's just always going to be hard. I guess it's just always going to be that, it's just going to be this difficult. And I knew it was going to be hard moving out here. But I didn't know how hard. Man, I'll be honest, I didn't know how hard. I didn't, like I said, a couple of episodes ago, I was talking about me floating on that piece of wood That's what I feel like right now in life. And I don't know if you've ever been deep sea fishing, but if you ever get the chance, go deep sea fishing. And I could care less about the fishing part. The best part about the deep sea fishing experience was being able to go out there so far away from land that you can't even see it. That you can see the buildings start shrinking as you're moving away from it. Or it seems like they're shrinking. They're not, but it is the coolest thing ever. And then eventually you get to a point where the captain stops the boat and you can see only water around you. That's all you can see around you is water. And you're just there. And that's where I feel like it. But without the ship and stuff, but just a piece of plywood floating. I haven't found my land yet, is what I'm trying to get at. I'm in, because Acts 27 is what brought me here. I keep saying that, but I mean, I checked all the boxes. That's the thing, that I'm an answers guy. I don't just I do hop into things. I have done that before. I've moved to Austin and I just hopped into it saying, oh, God told me to go. God didn't tell me to go there. Okay? I was a broken kid. I had nothing to go towards. I was leaning on something that was never going to bring me joy or satisfaction to begin with. And lo and behold, it disappointed me. So I didn't want to just go and hop out to Phoenix just to end up in that same disappointment. So what did I do? I prayed. I prayed. I got in the I prayed, and then I seeked wise counsel, because that's always important before you go and jump in to do something. If you feel like God's calling you to do something, you always ask another person, people you trust. And I've been blessed enough to have friends around me that are just honest with me. And if they think I'm making a smart decision, if they think I'm making a wise decision, they'll let me know. And guess what? I asked those wise counsels of people, and they all were like, go. We don't think it's a dumb decision. We're surprised you're back. So I prayed, asked for wise counsel, prayed, and then just to double check on some things, I was just reading in the Bible. I just was reading in Acts, randomly reading in Acts, because that's where the first church started. I was like, all right, cool. This is where the first missionaries were. Gotta learn from what they were doing. And I was getting towards the end of it. I was just doing my typical daily reading, but also I was praying. I was like, man, God, I want to know if I really need to go to Phoenix. If I need to go to Phoenix, let me know now that I need to go. Because if not, I'm not going to move. And then I read the word Phoenix, and I was just like, oh, wow, God's never spoke to me in this way before. Which he has never spoke to me in that way before. I would like to him to speak to me more in that way. I would, love to go to sleep and then have a Solomon dream where he comes into my dream and he speaks to me, or I have some kind of vision, some bushes on fire, Dawson. I'm like, yes, Moses in the burning bush kind of experience. Which, if that happened out here in Phoenix, I would just call the fire department. Realistically, because it is a desert and we're having record-breaking heat right now. I was standing on the sidewalk. My soles were melting to the sidewalk. That's how hot it was. My soles were melting. They were deformed. So if a burning bush did happen, I would be like, oh, this is normal. It's just record-breaking heat here in Phoenix. So, maybe it did happen. I just wasn't paying attention. Is what I'm trying to get at. Maybe God was trying to speak to me, but then I quickly burnt it out, or I quickly, put water on it, because I didn't want there to be, a wildfire. Who knows? But I just, why am I here? Why am I here? I feel like I failed. That's what I feel like. I feel like I didn't do something right, because that's where my mind immediately goes. My mind immediately, when things just keep going progressively wrong, because I've been just going on endurance this whole time. Something bad happens, it kind of knocks me down. Yeah, I stumble, I go into sin a little bit, but then I always go back in the Word, pray, and keep going, endure, push through, push through. Keep going. Come on, Dawson. Keep going. God's got something. And that's what I've been telling myself the whole time. And yes, I stumbled just as much as the next guy. You're not going to be perfect. God's not asking for perfection. He's just asking you for you to try your best and stay in the game. Stay in there. Don't quit. And I'm not a quitter. All right? And you shouldn't be a quitter either. But whenever I got the news that I needed to move out, like I knew it was coming to an end, but I did not know so soon. Because it's the worst time. God, it is the worst time. It is the worst time, Lord. I'm broke. I can't drive until March. At least wait until March. Because that's what I was rooting for. I was like, if I'm not going to be here, we're going to wait until March. Like, he's going to let me wait until I can at least put my stuff in a U-Haul, and then I could take it to wherever he wants me to go. No. It's got to be ASAP. On the spot. I got to get my stuff and go. And then so that begs the question, okay, cool, now what am I going to do with my stuff? Oh, well, then, yeah, I'm just going to have to, looks like I'm just going to have to sell all of it, donate some of it, whatever. I'm just going to have to get rid of all of it. I'm just going to have a suitcase. And my next destination, next 2-3 months, wherever I go, I'm just going to have a suitcase. I'm just going to have to start with that. Wherever it is. I don't know where he wants me to go. I have options. Friends hitting me up. Hey, dude. Oh, what happened? Oh, you're moving? Oh, well, dude, know that you always have a place here. Dude, come to Missouri, bruh. Come to Missouri, dude. You always got a place here. My mom's like, oh, Dawson, you can come back home in Arkansas. Come on, man. I got people yapping in my ears of what places I need to go to. I mean, yes, I do have places to go to, which is awesome, but I don't want to just go someplace random and it looks like it just, and be a burden. It feels like Austin Part 2. I go back someplace and I just sit again. Like another Conway experience where I just sit and I'm just like, but I feel like it's going to be worse because at least with Conway, I moved from Austin to Conway because I knew I needed to get my head right for the Lord. And I needed to get my head on straight before doing anything else. And so for that 1.5 to 2 years of me being in Conway, it was needed. But now, I'm just going to be moving to those places to what? Sit? Why would I go to those places? Because if like stand-up is on my heart and I just need to go do stand-up, and I want to go glorify God with my stand-up, well, I got to go make that effort to go move someplace. Well, where would that be? Austin, Texas. That would be the place to go. Where I was originally in the first place. Maybe, who knows? Maybe that's where I need to go now. Maybe Austin's always the place that I needed to go. But the first time that I went around, I didn't have the good mindset. I didn't have the glorifying God atmosphere of it all. But now this time around, I have I have God first. So then now going to Austin wouldn't be a bad decision. Also, I got the endurance part because holy cow, nothing is good. Nothing has been good that's came out of Phoenix. I've actually thought about, I've been trying to think of some good things that have came out of Phoenix. Let me just be honest. It's really hard, but I'm trying to be thankful. I really am, but it's so hard to be thankful. And consider blessings. Consider trials a blessing. It produces steadfastness and endurance. And I don't know. I just don't feel like that I've really grown. And other people from the outside have gone, well, Dawson, dude, I think you, Dawson, I feel like that, you've grown some. And well, I'm like, I don't feel like it. I feel like I suck still. I mean, like, I didn't learn anything. You know, like, these Christian TikToks and influencers or whatever, they'll pop up on I'll just mindlessly scroll at night and they'll just pop up on my feed. And they'll be like, oh man, like, there's this season of isolation where God isolated me from everybody, from away from friends, away from community and stuff. And I learned so much during that time, man. And he just taught me so many things. And and I didn't have any of that. And it makes me feel like, okay, cool, I didn't do something. I sucked. I failed. I did something wrong out here. I didn't listen to God. I didn't do what God wanted me to do out here. And I failed. I sucked. I didn't have my ears open. I was too focused on my self-ego or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong. And I just need to pray about it. That's what I mean. Seriously, I'm just talking it out on this podcast, and then afterwards, I'm gonna go pray about it. I'm gonna get in the Word, and I pray and I hope that God will give me something. Because I beat up on myself way too much. I do. There's also those, it's just one of those things where God could be just knocking at the door constantly, but I'm too busy self-loathing or in my own just little, oh, God is not with me. I'm too far gone. I'm just, and then God's just trying to get my attention. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. I really don't. But, yep, I got to move. I gotta. Man, this has sucked. It has sucked being out here. Thinking of the good things, though. I have developed more in my comedy. That is number one. That has probably been the number one greatest thing that has came out of Phoenix is I have developed at least 15 minutes. If someone asks me, hey, Dawson, I need you to do the most amount of time that you could possibly do, I'll be like, all right, cool. I can go I got a solid 15 that I can go up there and do. Amazing. Because a year ago, when I first came here, I barely had 5. And there's only one joke from that 5 minutes that I started with that I still use to this day. So, in a year, getting 15 minutes? Come on. You got to give a round of applause to God on that one. That's a blessing. So I got a good solid 15. And on top of that, there has been some good connections that have came out of here. CCA, the Christian Comedy Association, that was really cool. The only problem with that is like comedy is so weird with connections. It's like you'll get someone's phone number, they'll ask you to do a show, you do one show with them, and then you won't talk to them for 10 years. And you don't know when you'll be able to talk to them again. So a lot of those people at CCA, I don't know when I'll ever bump into them again. It's just one of those things I just have to kind of have faith on and just be like, all right, cool. Well, I ran into them at CCA. I'm going to run into them again one day in the future, maybe do some work with them. I don't know. I really, really don't know. So it was cool to make some connections. And like even with Christian, like he's going to be coming down here in November. I'm going to do a show with him. I don't know what that's all going to entail. But right now, it's like, okay, cool. He's doing his thing. And then we're going to do the show together here in Phoenix. And then he's going to go off and do his thing. And then we, hope and pray that we'll cross paths again one day. And so with that aspect, it's kind of like it's like a good, but also kind of just, it's a big question mark kind of thing. So, I guess that could be a good aspect out of there. There's a little bit of connections, but they're not blossoming here. It's just like those seeds have been planted, but they're not being watered just yet. And then I don't know. I wasn't planning to really bring this up, but I'm just going to go ahead and just throw it out there because, she knows who she is. Something wild happened. something crazy. I just didn't really want to talk about it because I don't know. I'm kind of still mind boggled about it too. There's this girl that popped up in my life. I don't know what's all going to entail about it. We're just friends right now. And it's been really cool to get to talk to somebody. And, it's cool that we're in very similar seasons in life. And it just kind of just popped up. She said that she saw one of my videos, one of my reels. It just randomly popped up on her feed. She went to my page, listened to an episode, and then she decided to DM me. And then we, it just kind of was more of a mutual thing at first. And then all of a sudden we started talking more, texting more, found out that we had a lot more in common, how conversations go, how they go there. And so, I'm just praying on that, praying for, guidance in that. I mean, there's just a lot of things going on all at once. And my thing is I don't know what that is going to blossom into. I'm not trying to expect anything because I know what's happened in the past of expectations. They have been absolutely blown out of the water. I do hope the best in that situation. But, she is going to come down and visit in November, which I think is really cool. I don't know what's going to happen or whatever, but we're like, it was just a whole random thing. It's wild. It's like, and she's from a different country. So it's like a scene of a book. It feels like a book. Wow. Oh yeah. These people, she flies over to a different country and then they start like, oh, this is the perfect dream. It's like a Hallmark Channel type thing. I don't know. It's just nuts. I haven't fully processed it because my mind is just still blown of just how God could work in that. And the reason why I bring that up is because I'm like, God, this is also the worst timing for that too. Because what happens if it blossoms into a relationship? How is that going to work? Because I'm over here like, I'm not in a great state of mind right now. Like my life does not feel set up to have a relationship. And so it's just something I just have to pray about and, not put too much pressure on anything and just kind of take it a day at a time and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it's more me than it is my situation. I think I just feel that I'm not, Welcome to the announcements. If you enjoy the podcast, please let me know by liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing with friends, family, some random person in the store or something. I don't know. Any feedback is much appreciated. Also, I have a Patreon now, which means exclusive content, extra episodes that can only be found there. I could be vlogging on my rollerblades. I don't know. You just have to subscribe to find out. Either way, I appreciate all the support that I get with my podcast and comedy. Thank y'all so much for listening and supporting. It really means so much. It means the world, but thank y'all and stay blessed. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm not lovable. I am, I guess. I think that's what it is. And it also shows in my relationship with God. I just feel like right now I'm just not lovable. I feel like I'm more of a burden. And that's one thing that I'm really struggling with right now is I feel like no matter where I move to, I'm just going to be a burden. Oh, Dawson's on the couch again. Oh, Dawson, things didn't work out in Phoenix. Oh, poor Dawson. We just got to, we got to take care of him. Poor Dawson. I don't want it to be the Dawson pity party. Okay? God strengthened me for something. I don't know what it is yet. Okay? I'm trying to hold on to the little bit of faith that I have left. And I'll be honest, my cup is empty. I'm walking around with an empty cup. And I feel like I recently read Jonah. The Jonah and the whale story. I mean, the whole book of Jonah is it's 4 chapters. And in that book, it starts out with him in the beginning. God tells him, hey, go preach to these people in Nineveh. Tell them that they better repent. I'm about to throw some wrath on them. And then Jonah's like, Nah. And then he runs. He disobeys God. He just runs away. Hops on a ship. Which is funny because I saw the parallel between Paul and him. Because Paul and Jonah are both on ships. A storm comes for both of them. But what's very interesting is Paul, during his storm, he didn't cause the storm. The sailors did. But in Jonah's case, Jonah caused the storm, not the sailors. It was very interesting, that parallel. I don't really know what that all entails, but it's very interesting that the two stories that I read, they're both a very big storm story. Either way, Jonah, the only solution to his storm was he knew that he needed to be thrown overboard. So he felt convicted, let them know, hey, look, the only way that you're going to be able to help, solve this is just throw me over. So he throws him over. He gets swallowed up by a big fish. The storm, seeds. And now he's the belly of this big fish. What do you think he's going to do now? He's just in this big fish. Well, guess what? He's in complete isolation. He has nothing to worry about. He's just in the belly of a big fish. So guess what he starts doing? Praising God. Saying sorry to the Lord. Repenting. Praising God. Repenting. He has this long prayer. And then God takes that fish and makes him just vomit on some land. And then boom, there he is. And then God tells him again, hey, go to Nineveh. And this time he goes and preaches. Lets them know, hey, y'all better repent. God's about to come on with some wrath. You better. He does exactly what God tells him to do. The second time around, then my favorite part is the end. This is the part that I related to the most. Was when Jonah is with God and God gives Nineveh grace and mercy and doesn't give them wrath because they repented. And then Jonah proceeds to go and be mad about it. He's furious about it. He's like, you're not going to give wrath to Nineveh after all they've done? I'm so mad, just take me off the planet. I'm so mad, just kill me now, Lord. I gotta look this up. I didn't bring my Bible in here with me, but I got my Bible app. I should have had this pulled up earlier, but it's fine. But yeah, he said, where is Jonah? There we go. Jonah chapter 4. And down to the end. Is it right for you to be angry? He said, now, Lord, take my life away, for it is better for me to die than to live. But to Jonah, this scene, okay. So he was so angry at what God did, given the mercy and grace, that he was like, God, just take my life. I'm just so angry right now. And then the Lord, it's like, is it right for you to be angry? And it's very interesting because it said that Jonah had gone out and sat up to the place east of the city. There he made himself a shelter, sat in its shade. And then the Lord provided a leafy plant and made it grow over Jonah to give him shade for his head, to ease his discomfort. And Jonah was very happy about the plant. So Jonah's just sitting and chilling at this point. He's trying to find peace in his anger. He's very angry. But God comes in and gives him this. It's hot outside, so he gives him this leafy plant, and this plant starts growing up. Right, just imagine I'm imagining. Just imagine that you're so mad, and you're sitting, and you're so mad, and all of a sudden a plant just grows right by you, and then just boop over your head, just right there, to give you some shade. That's the kind of comfort that God brings to you. But I don't know. I mean But But then God comes through and says, "Is it right for you to be angry about the plant because God made it wither away?" And he said, "I am so angry, I wish I were dead," again. But the Lord said, "You have been concerned about this plant, though you did not tend or make it grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight. And should I not have concern for a great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals?" That's how the whole book of Jonah ends. We don't know Jonah's response. We don't know any of his actions. All we know is a guy that went from disobeying God to repenting and being sorrowful and thankful to the Lord, to now God giving him a second chance to go and be obedient. He goes in and obeys the Lord this time, but then proceeds to be angry to a city of people, of disobedient people, which he was just disobeying at the very beginning. And it was just ironic. And I don't know. I related to Jonah's anger, of how angry he was, that he just wanted to die. And I'm in a good mental mindset. I'm not saying worry about it, but I'm just like, why am I here, God? Why am I here? What are you doing, God? Let me know what's up. Tell me what I need to do next. I'll go do it. I don't know. I just don't feel I don't know. Also at the same time, I mean, I feel like that if there's a blessing that's about to come around the corner, that I just don't feel deserving of it. That I haven't handled myself well enough to where I could deserve what God is gonna bring to me. And so I don't know. I'm just kind of like all in a big mix of emotions right now, and I just want to just dive in to some Ben and Jerry's. I have a lot to pray for. I have a lot to pray about, a lot to just I'm just releasing everything right now. Just letting y'all know what's up. And I just need to dive into some Ben and Jerry's. Some Cherry Garcia. Oh, the best flavor. Just get my anger out on a pint of ice cream. Have you ever gotten your anger out on a pint of Ben and Jerry's? Whew. Whew. Some people, when they come home, they have their dogs. They have pets. Other people, when they get home, they have their wives. They have their kids. Have families. You know what I have? I have a pint of Ben and Jerry's waiting for me when I get home. Long day at work, Ben and Jerry's. I'm telling you, if Ben and Jerry divorced, it would be hard. It would be a hard day in Dawson's world. Because I don't know who to go to. I don't know who's got the big recipes here. Does Ben have more, or does Jerry have all of it together? What is it? Do I need to go week to week? Week at Ben's place, week at Jerry's place? I don't know. But what I do know is that, man, that ice cream has gotten me through some tremendous stuff. And I don't have any in the freezer right now. I would go dig in, but I ate the rest of mine last night. I ate the last of my Ben and Jerry's. I need some Ben and Jerry's in my life. I need it. I don't know what it is. I've been really kind of kind of in that comfort food. I'm not becoming a glutton, but I do have some comfort foods. Like I did say Takis, but Ben and Jerry's, I don't know. I'm surprised I'm as skinny as I am, because I do like my comfort foods, and I should be 300, 400 pounds right now, but I'm not. I have a crazy metabolism. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to get a pint of Ben and Jerry's. because they know what's up. They know they're doing something over there in that factory. They're keeping people's lives together. Mental awareness month. Oh, dude, everybody's mental health is going to be held up by Ben and Jerry's. Just someone's having a bad day, hand them a pint. Hand them some Ben and Jerry's. Man, I'm just so depressed right now. Well, have you ever tried Cherry Garcia? Have you ever tried Double Fudge? I don't know what their names are. I forget all the great names that they make up for it. Just try this heaven and a pint, and it will lift up your spirits to get you through your day. And that's what I really want right now. Just to get my anger out on a pint of Ben and Jerry's. I just need to get my anger out, get my rage out on that. And sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself. At least I did, because I was eating it pretty angrily last night, and I couldn't do anything but just laugh at myself because of the thought of how pissed off I looked as I was eating the ice cream. Like you can't look that angry while eating ice cream. The thought of it just makes you laugh. You're just like taking the spoon, licking the spoon, and making sure you're getting every last bit of it, just like kind of like just tearing into it. It's funny. It's humorous to angrily indulge in some ice cream. I mean, I abused that pint of ice cream. I'm not kidding. I could get, if some police were around, there might be a battery charged to Dawson for what I just did to that ice cream. Just went in there and just, Dawson, are you okay? No, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm losing it in some ways. I do. I'm a little tensed up. I do feel a lot better though. I really do. I feel tons better than I did. I will admit that. So if you have made it this far listening, I appreciate you coming on this journey and just listen to me rant about just random things, and just trying to, just get things out. Don't worry about me. I'm not completely losing it. I just got some things to think about. I just got to pray about some stuff. I just have not been in the Word and been in the prayer as much as I wanted to, or as much as I need to be. I'm just not in the mood. I don't know if you've ever been in that season of life, but I just don't want to read, or I just don't want to pray. And I think it's because I just don't think He's going to answer. I just don't think He's going to speak to me. And that shouldn't be the mindset of why I do it. I should just be doing it disciplined, being obedient, and you need that to be a part of your life. I mean, you can't just, you can't say that you're a Christian, walk around and be like, oh, I'm spiritually ready for anything, and you're not doing the two most important things that you need to be doing, or any Christian should be doing if they're going to be battling this thing called life. 1, praying every single day. 2, reading every single day. They're both just as important. You should be doing both of those hand in hand. Okay? One or the other. One and the other. So, that's what I gotta do. I just gotta force myself to go back into it and do it, and hopefully get some answers of where my next steps need to be, because I'm tired of just being mad. I'm tired of just being upset. I'm tired of being discouraged. I'm tired of being just taking things so hard. And I want to get to that point where when something happens, it just, it might sting, but it just bounces off, I'm like, all right, cool, that happened, but bam, I know God's got me. I know God has me. And that's where I want to be at in my life, in my faith, is I want to be in that kind of mindset. And I just want to I don't know. I just want to make God proud. I think that's all I've been wanting to strive for, is just to make people proud. Of me. But I want to be, I don't know, I just want to be the best representation of Christ. And I just don't feel like I'm doing a good job at it. I feel like that I've just, I don't know. I know that maybe people are looking at it going, oh, Dawson, I mean, you're doing whatever. I don't know. It just stinks. It really does stink. And it just makes me mad, man. So I don't know where to move on from this, because I got till December, but I'll probably be out in November, because no special someone's coming down at the beginning of November. I got that show at the beginning of November, so I got August, September, October. So I got August, September, October. I got 3 months. I got 3 months to get through here. I already know I'm leaving here, but I got 3 months to stay engaged, stay focused. What's next? Got to be prayed up, read up, Stay strong. God soldier. That's what I want to leave y'all with today. Is, yes, I vented a lot in this podcast. I didn't have anything proper that I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to be going with things, but here I am. I'm just being honest. I could have just curled up in a ball and went to sleep and probably not done a podcast this week, but guess what? It feels a lot good getting this out. I feel tons better getting this out, and I feel more, not as angry as I was 47 minutes ago. And I just want to take these last few minutes, and I just want to motivate y'all. Or it's not even motivate, just kind of like, just don't give up. Don't give up. I know it seems right now that maybe someone in your life, someone has the life that you want. And being in your 20s, early 20s sucks, because you realize you're not a kid anymore. You got a, adult. And I don't know, you're just learning. I don't know. It just seems to me that, being in your early 20s, you're learning all these things that you weren't really told in school, or you weren't really told in your early life, and you're kind of just learning these things now. And so, I don't know where you're at in your life. I don't even know if you believe in God. And I'll be honest, I'm struggling with my faith. But the thing is, though, is I do know He's good, and I know He's going to come through. And I'm not going to let my feelings get in the way, and I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up, and neither are you. You're not going to quit. You're not going to give up. Because I don't know what you're going through. But I don't know. I just feel like I just need to tell y'all to not quit, not give up. It's tough. Life's tough. But God's with you. I have to remind myself that all the time. Even though I feel like He's not with me, even though I feel like He's not speaking to me. Feel. Faith is not feeling. It's not. And who knows what's going to happen in the future. Next week, I might come around and be like, man, God showed me this, this, and this, and this, and this. And I hope he does. So, I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to get reading and stuff so that I can come back next week and be like, oh, this is all the great things that God showed me when I was praying and reading. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll come back next week and just be like, well, I'm in a better mindset than I was last week. And so, in saying all that, I want to say thank y'all for listening to episode 72 of this podcast. I know it was a wild ride, but I feel a lot better. And so, thank y'all so much for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the podcast. And I will be talking to you sometime next week.